You ever notice how things are going great with a woman? Then out of nowhere, she starts pulling back. She used to laugh at your texts. She used to lean in when you touched her. You felt that closeness building. And then suddenly she's colder, more distant, less responsive. And you're left there wondering, did I mess up? Is she seeing someone else? But here's the truth most men miss. When a woman truly starts falling for you, she doesn't always lean in. Sometimes she runs. Not because she doesn't care, but because she cares more than she planned to. And that fear of being seen, of being vulnerable, of getting hurt, takes the wheel. So today I'm breaking down what's really going on underneath her silence, different reasons, deeper psychology. Let's go. Point 1. She's protecting her self-worth. When a woman starts catching deep feelings, the first thing that gets tested is her sense of self-worth. Not how much she likes you, but how much she believes she's enough for you. And if she's been through past situations where she gave her heart and got left behind, she's wired to assume history will repeat itself. So instead of waiting for the pain, she jumps first. She creates distance not to hurt you, but to protect herself from feeling like she isn't worthy again. It's not about what you did wrong. It's about the internal voice that says, he's too good, don't get used to this. And unless you respond with calm confidence, you'll trigger the exact fear she's trying to suppress. So don't chase, stand tall. Be the proof she needs that this time might be different. Point 2, her identity is getting challenged. A lot of women build their strength around independence. They've fought to be enough on their own, emotionally, financially, mentally. So when you show up and make her feel safe, it shakes that identity because suddenly she starts imagining a future that isn't just about her. And while part of her loves it, another part feels like she's losing control of her narrative. It's scary to realize someone else can affect how you see yourself, especially when she spent years building walls to protect that image. Her pulling away isn't rejection. It's her way of saying, I don't know who I am with you yet, and that makes me panic. If you can stay rooted in who you are while giving her space to figure that out, she'll come back stronger, not more distant. Point 3, she doesn't know if she can trust stability. Stability sounds like a good thing, right? But to a woman who's been burned, it feels unreal. She's used to chaos, to highs and lows, to emotional roller coasters. So when a man finally shows up who's calm, consistent, and grounded, she doesn't trust it. Not because she thinks you're fake, but because she's never felt peace that didn't come with a cost. Her brain starts scanning for the catch. When's he going to switch up? What's he hiding? Why is he being this good to me? And instead of leaning in, she leans out. That's why you've got to understand. Your calm might confuse her at first, but if it's real, if you're solid, even through her uncertainty, she'll eventually relax into your presence. Just don't get reactive when she second guesses it. That's how you prove you're different. Point 4, she's battling her desire to be chosen. This one goes deep. Every woman wants to feel desired, but many are terrified of needing to be desired. When she starts wanting your attention, craving your presence, that part of her that's learned to never rely on a man kicks in. She'll push you away, not because she's done, but because she hates that your absence hurts. To her, needing you feels like weakness. So instead of admitting it, she'll ghost you for a day. Act like she doesn't care, pretend she's busy. It's her inner defense mechanism, fighting to regain control. Here's the test. Will you panic and chase? Or will you remain calm, unshaken, still present but not needy? Because when she sees that she doesn't have to act distant to maintain her worth, she'll start choosing closeness instead. Point 5, her mind is running ahead of her heart. Sometimes a woman feels everything she needs to feel, but her mind refuses to let her heart lead. She might be into you, she might even love what you bring into her life, but her thoughts, her logic, her anxiety start predicting future pain. What if he leaves? What if I'm not what he really wants? What if I lose myself again? That's why she'll act cold, not because she stopped feeling, but because her thoughts got too loud. She's trying to get back in control, not of you, but of her emotions. And if you start reacting, questioning, or pressuring her, she'll double down on the silence. But if you stay calm, grounded, and consistent in your energy, she'll notice. And slowly her heart will get permission to speak again. Point 6. She's trying to reset the emotional balance. Sometimes when a woman feels like she's getting too attached, she'll pull back on purpose. Why? Because in her mind she needs to reset the scale. She feels like she's given too much emotionally, too fast. Maybe she opened up more than she wanted. Maybe she let you see a side of her that made her feel exposed. And now her guard is up, not to punish you, but to realign her own emotions. She wants to see if you'll still show up when she's not being easy, soft, or playful. It's not a game. It's a protective reflex. And if you can pass that silent test by not overreaching, by not disappearing either, she'll realize you're not just here for the highlight reel. You're here for the human behind it all. Point 7. She's unconsciously triggered by peace. Here's the wildest truth. Some women are addicted to chaos and don't even know it. They've only ever experienced love with drama, arguments, passion laced with pain. So when a man comes in with peace, respect, and emotional safety, it feels foreign. And unfamiliar can feel threatening. She's not pulling away because you're boring. She's pulling away because peace doesn't match the emotional pattern she's used to. It doesn't mean she doesn't want it. It just means she has to rewire her nervous system to receive it. If you flinch here, she'll assume the peace was temporary. But if you hold your calm, you'll start teaching her what healthy love really feels like. And that's when her guard doesn't just drop, it dissolves. Listen, a woman pulling away doesn't always mean it's over. Sometimes it means you're closer than you think. And that scares her more than rejection ever could. Don't chase. Don't try to fix. Don't lose your center just because she lost hers. You show her strength by staying still. Not to manipulate, but to show her what it looks like to love without chaos. And if you made it this far, comment unshakable calm, so I know you're one of the few men who get it. Because in a world full of noise, it's your silence, your stability, and your grounded energy that makes her come back, not out of guilt, but out of trust.